Audie is with us in Peoria. Hi, Audie. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Well, thank you very much for having me on.
My pleasure.
God bless you for the work that you do.
Thank you. How can I help?
Well, I have a little different situation than you usually have. But when I heard that millionaire scream, I thought, well, even at 81, and my fiancé is 84, he's been a widower about 3 years. I've been a widower for over 30. And we used to work together many years ago. And we have decided after a year of dating that we will get married. And so I was officially engaged Valentine's Day and wore an engagement. I wear an engagement ring. So there is my background situation.
That's just fun. I love this. Way to go, kiddo. So
well,
when's the big date?
Well, now this is the situation. When I accepted the engagement ring, I had to accept it with conditions because we had a number of issues, of course, at our age with children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. We needed to make sure, first of all, that everything was copacetic with our children, and that's the problem solved. Not a problem at all. Both sides of the family have just generally said, I think, actually they said, oh, good, Mom's got somebody to take care of her. And his family said, oh, good, Dad's got somebody to take care of him. So the two of us are going to be taking care of each other.
This is great.
We have health issues, and a lot of those things have to be taken care of. Mm-hmm. And then we also needed to know, where do we live? And how do we do our budget? We are very differently, we have a very different perspective. I had a family of 5 children, and my husband and I was mostly a home mom till I went back to college and got my teaching degree. And he has always been a teacher or a principal. And now that we're retired, he's still substitute. I have had a job up until 2015. I still work. And we both are pretty hard workers, but we have had some health issues, so those have to be dealt with. And so we have not set a wedding date yet.
Gotcha.
Which
okay.
bugs everybody, really.
Cool.
Kids,
how can I best help you today?
Okay, these are the two questions really that we need to deal with. We have a fairly good income and some assets. We won't be hurting at all, but there are some questions about, one, how do we set up a means of deciding what our living expenses will be, mm-hmm. and how much should we invest in a home to live in. Mm-hmm. He has an older home that will require a good amount of money mm-hmm. to renovate and
so how much money do you have and how much money does he have?
Well, he has about 3 times the same. 3 times my retirement is about $28,000 a year. I mean, my income.
Yeah, not counting income. Do you have nest eggs?
Pardon?
Nest eggs or net worth?
Okay, well, I have about $80,000 mm-hmm. as my net asset, mm-hmm. but I have a $20,000 mortgage still on my house because I did some upgrades. I'm actually in the process.
What is his worth? What's he worth?
He has a small farm, and it's it's worth probably land values right now over $400,000.
Okay. What I would tell you to do, and what I tell all young couples to do on the household budget, is to do a budget and lay it out together, and you guys figure out together what you're going to spend on your household budget. You've got your incomes in front of you, and you can spend all of that income if you want to. There's no problem with that. I would love to see you sell off a couple of these odds and ends pieces of real estate and end up with a paid-for property that the two of you are living in, so that you've got the piece of that. And I would like that to be left to the person that has survived. when one of you passes, the other one ends up with that house. You can do whatever you want, but that's what I would want for my wife or husband, were I exactly in your situation. The rest of the assets, then, you should be left probably to your kids or his kids, his assets to his kids, your assets to your kids. This is one of the rare instances that I would say do a prenup.
Yes, that's exactly. Both of us, just coincidentally, before we started dating, had decided our wills. We both had new wills drawn up, and they fit perfectly. Our two lawyers, his lawyer would like to meet me and present the prenup, which is really because he has many more assets than I do, and they all should go to his children.
Well, I think that's great, and I think almost all of them should go to his children. But he's, in love enough with you to marry you, so he also is going to want to make sure you're okay.
Well, that's my house. Was always for the last 3 or 4 years, I've been doing things to my house to put it on the market because I was planning before I met him. And we started dating and decided to get married that I would move to Texas where my children live.
Yeah, I see.
Most of my children.
Okay. Well, you can use that money out of the sale of that house to be your nest egg, and you've got a prenup to protect your money flowing to your kids, his money flowing to his kids and grandkids, and with the exception, maybe, of the personal residence, where maybe that is one of the things he gives you. Now, maybe if he were to predecease you, were to pass first, maybe you would sell that and move to Texas still. But that's still one way that you would slightly benefit financially from the marriage. And he could do the same exact thing were you to pass before him. He would get that house. And if you put a little bit of your money into that house, that wouldn't be a bad thing. So you can work that out. You don't have to do that. It's just an idea that I threw out. But in marriages at this age, I think a prenup where there's assets is always a good idea, because it keeps everything real clean, and there's no weirdness in the family, because families get weird about these things. So normally I do not recommend a prenup except in extreme wealth situations. But in this case, this is the type of thing where if I were in your shoes, I would. And if I were in his shoes, I would. So, well, it's an honor to talk to you, Audie. I'm so excited for you guys. Congratulations. And I hope you guys get this lined out and get this date set up fast. That's what you need to do. I love it. Very fun stuff. Hey, thank you for calling in.